Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the multiplayer mode in Mario Maker 2 and how Nintendo just took an easy mode to develop an easy concept and just miserably failed at it. So in theory, this multiplayer mode is a very good idea, but their execution of it is just so bad, and that's what I'm going to be mainly talking about. I'm not going to be going in any specific order really on these points. There's just a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to kind of mash all these ideas together because they do kind of all fall in together. So the biggest problem with this, and I think most people can agree, is the lag. Just the matches do not run smoothly at all, and this is not what I would expect from Nintendo. Basically, the way multiplayer lag works in Mario Maker 2 is by using the weakest link. So whoever has the slowest internet connection, the match is only going to run at that speed for everyone else. So if everyone else has blazing fast internet and then one guy is still using a potato for a router, everyone's game is going to run at like 1 FPS. And no, that's not an exaggeration. There is actually times where the game does run at like 1 FPS. Sometimes it'll even freeze up for like 5 seconds and then move like a couple frames and then freeze again. So as you can tell, that's probably not very enjoyable. Throughout this entire video, I'm probably just going to be throwing up clips of the lag and stuff. This is not an isolated incident, by the way. This happens all the time. Almost every match I get in is laggy, but there is times where it's a lot worse than others, but there is always at least some lag. And as a result of this lag, not only does it make the matches drag on so far, it also completely removes skill from the game at all. For a player like me who has all these jumps timed out and stuff, and I know exactly how long I need to hold down a button for, I know exactly how to enter, little spaces and stuff in these levels, that just doesn't apply because the timings, like if you want to jump and get into a one tile gap that's like 4 blocks high, I can do that in one shot. Like in a normal endless run or something, because you just hold down the button for a certain amount of time. But with multiplayer, you have to hold it down for a lot longer, and it's basically like you're just guessing when to remove your finger from the button. There's no muscle memory or anything when it comes to making jumps, and a lot of time multiplayer does eat your jumps too because of the lag. I'm probably going to show a video on screen now when the lag is just so bad. You press the jump button and then nothing happens for like 10 seconds. So you take your finger off the jump button and then press it again to try and jump again, and it still doesn't jump. Keep in mind, we've only moved like 5 pixels across the screen within this 10 seconds. So then you find out a few seconds later that it did register your first jump, so it makes you jump just a really little bit, and then that makes you fall off the gap because you didn't hold it down long enough. Because it basically, if you wanted to make a decent sized jump at this type of lag, you're going to need to be holding down your A button for like 30 seconds just to get across one gap, because that's how slow the game runs sometimes. Another thing as a result of this lag is that it just makes it not enjoyable at all, as you can already tell. But another thing is the respawning. Like, it can take you literal minutes to respawn in multiplayer if the lag is bad enough. I'm probably also going to show you a clip right now. Keep in mind the Switch only records for like 30 seconds, so I've already been trying to respawn for the past minute, and then it's just so laggy, and you're basically just sitting there watching nothing happen on the screen for minutes at a time because you're not able to respawn fast enough. Even when there's no lag, I still think the respawns are a little bit outrageous in their times. It should be like a third of the time that it is to respawn, not like you gotta watch the whole animation of your character falling and then give you like 5 seconds of just staring at the screen doing nothing. Then it's gotta load the beginning of the course again, and then you've gotta, flash, and it's gonna have all these effects and stuff, and then finally you're gonna be able to move like 20 seconds later. I just don't think the respawning was done very well at all in this game. So that's a lot of the lag related issues. I'm probably gonna come back to that point eventually if anything else relates to that, but that's just something I really needed to talk about because the lag is probably the #1 reason why I cannot stand this game mode. Another reason why is that there's almost no quality control in the levels. I can't even tell you how many times I've lost a match just because I've entered a wrong pipe or something when there's a pick-a-pipe. There is times where you can actually use skill to determine what pipe to enter. For example, if it's one of those levels where there's like a pipe and a door right at the beginning, and then there's a big wall, and then a pipe right at the end, you know that you're going to want to enter the pipe, most likely, because you need to go into a sub-world to enter a pipe that'll put you back into the main world. So that's something where you can kind of use your skills to determine what to enter. But a lot of time, these pipe entries are just completely blind. And I'm not even talking about like pick-a-pipe levels. I'm talking about just levels that have so many paths to go in, and only one of them is the right way. I'm not saying necessarily that the other ones kill you. What I'm saying is that one person is going to choose the right path and everyone else is going to choose the wrong ones, and there's going to be no indication as to which way to go. One of you is eventually just going to land at the goal, and then nobody else is going to even know how you got there half the time. These levels are fine and normal, but when it comes to multiplayer where everyone is just trying to get to the goal as fast as possible with only one shot at these levels, that's when this becomes a problem, when there needs to be some kind of quality control in these levels to stop them from happening. It is very obviously possible to speedrun these offline if you have multiple attempts and you get to know the layout first before you actually like do a full speedrun of the level. But online, there's just no way that you can actually just know which way to go in some of these levels. Another thing that I have mixed feelings on is like boss fights and key doors and stuff. I really don't know what to think of these because sometimes I like them and sometimes I don't. The times I don't like them is when I'm in front and I'm just completely dominating, I'm way ahead of everyone else, and then I come to like a boom boom fight or something, and then next thing I know, I get the final hit and then someone pops in the door right as I get the final hit, lands on my head and gets the key. Those forced boss fights can sometimes be okay and sometimes they're just, you know what I mean, like they're just not fun. So they just remove a lot of the skill from it a lot of times when someone's just really far ahead and then everyone else is just constantly dying, and then everyone just gets equalized at the boss fights. As Penga calls them, he calls them the great equalizer, because basically that's what it is. Everyone just is on an equal playing field at that point. Nothing up to that point matters until whoever gets the key first is ahead. So sometimes those can be okay, like if you're far behind and you want to catch up. So that's why I said I have mixed feelings on them, because I just don't know what to think. Sometimes I like them and sometimes I don't. I think that in a perfect world, without any lag, without any pick-a-pipe, I definitely would say no boss fights. Boss fights would be bad. But in a game where you're stuck with constant lag and constant pick-a-pipe and stuff, boom boom fight might actually be good to get everyone on an equal playing field if there's no way that they could have known that that's the right way to go, or if they mistime a jump because of the hideous lag or something like that. Another thing I hate is that the win status is basically just a boolean. It's either you win or you lose. There's no like in between. So whoever touches the flag first gets the most points, and then if it's let's see, if it's Mario Bros 1 or New Soup or 3D World, as long as it's not one of the Bowser levels, it's a flag pull, so multiple people can touch the flag, but still whoever gets there first wins. So that's a good idea, I think, but the time frame available to when the first person touches it and then the last person is able to touch it is so small that you guys basically just have to have, both of you have to have made exactly the same mistakes or no mistakes at all. Because like I said before with the respawning, if one of you just dies once, like that's going to take you 20 seconds to respawn, and there's only like a few seconds between when someone touches the flag to when the match ends, so there's no way you can catch up, and I just don't really like that at all. Just imagine Mario Kart, but whoever crosses the finish line first, the match just ends right away. Nobody would play Mario Kart if that was the case. Nobody would enjoy that. It would be nice if there was a second place, a third place, and a last place, so you guys could get or lose points based on your ranking. But with this, you either get a lot of points for first or you lose a lot of points, and that's just not very fun. I can see how this would make people mad, especially people that just naturally get mad at video games a lot. Another problem that I have is that a lot of these levels are not even like reasonably completable on multiplayer. So that kind of goes back to the quality control of the levels, but this is not necessarily quality control, it's just there is good levels that can't be beaten on multiplayer. For example, platforming levels where the blue platforms fall out underneath you, or P-switch jumping levels or something. I know Nintendo tried to mitigate that by making them respawn, but sometimes there is times where actually having them respawn breaks the level. Like, just a lot of these levels are not completable and they're just really jank on multiplayer. So I think I mentioned all the main points that I wanted to in this video, but I just want to drive the point home about lag. Back in 2019, someone made a Mario Battle Royale. Basically, there's 100 Marios all connected onto the same server, all playing at once, and there's no lag at all. Keep in mind, this is a homebrew game made by just some random guy in his basement. I mean, I wouldn't say that, he's a decently well-known YouTuber, but you get the point. This isn't some big company that developed this. This is just one individual guy that was able to make an online mode that was completely lag-free and worked very well. But yet Nintendo cannot even make it lag-free with 4 people. Matter of fact, it's not even close to being lag-free. So it's just very upsetting that a major corporation like Nintendo cannot even do such a simple thing like that. But some other guy can, and he can do it with 100 people, 25 times as many. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to mention in this video. If you guys have any other concerns about multiplayer, just leave them in the comments, because I have probably experienced them too. I just might have forgotten to mention them. But yeah, this mode is just complete shit. I'm sorry to say that, but this mode is just not fun at all. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and I'll see you next time. Bye.